Lesson 7-4, more multiplication properties when working with exponents. We're going to go through a couple more that you might have learned already and review them. All right, I'm going to go right to our first property, raising a power to a power. So in the last lesson, we learned that if we have the same base and we're being multiplied, our answer, we can keep the base and just add the exponents. So this would be x to the fifth. Well, in this property, when you have a power, so a, let's say to m, and that power is raised to another power, we can just multiply the exponents. So this would be a raised to the m times the n. So don't add, but multiply. Let's do an example. So if I have n to the fourth raised to the seventh power, power to a power, I'm going to multiply 4 times 7. N to the 28th power is my answer. Don't forget, let's look at C with a negative. P to the negative fifth raised to the fourth. I still do power to a power, I still multiply. P to the negative 20th is my answer, which when you have a negative exponent, we can put it on the denominator and the exponent becomes positive. All right, now we have a couple products. Just use order of operations when you're simplifying the exponents. So what I mean by that is before we multiply or add 5 and 3, because those have the same base, we first want to work with the product that has a power to a power. So y to the third power is going to wait. I'm being multiplied by y. Power to a power, 5 raised to the negative 2 is 5 times negative 2 or negative 10. Now I have two of the same bases with exponents. I can add these exponents. So 3 plus negative 10 is going to be a negative, why am I blinking? 3 plus negative 10 is a negative 7. So y to the negative 7th power, which I can write with a positive exponent, 1 over y to the 7th power. All right, I'm going to do another example. Let's do C. R to the negative 5th to the negative 2nd. First, I'm going to work with that. Power to a power, multiply the exponents. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. Then, multiplied by r to the third, same base, we can add the exponents, r to the 13th. All right. Second property in this lesson is raising a product to a power. Product meaning in the parentheses are two things being multiplied by each other. So in this case, we have a being multiplied to b, and it's raised to the exponent m. Well, what's important to remember is that m is applied to both parts or both factors of that product. A is raised to the m power, and so is b. So that's how you can think about it. So in this example, we have a square, and we want to know the area of a square. Well, we know area equals length times width. So side times side. Well, here's one side length, 5x to the third power times, or squared, because it would be side times side. The sides are the same thing in a square. This 2 is going to be applied to the 5 and to the x to the third power. So we have 5 to the 2 and x to the third to the 2. Now, 5 squared we know is 25. X to the third to the second. Well, that's a power to a power. We multiply these. X to the 6th is our answer. All right, let's do another example. Let's do B. So 2z to the negative 4th power. Negative 4 is applied to the 2 factor and to the z. Excuse me. So 2 to the negative 4th times z to the negative 4th. Well, 2 to the negative 4th power, I could write both of these since they both have negative exponents. I'm going to write them both with positive exponents. 1 over 2 to the 4th times 1 over z to the 4th. My answer, 1 is going to remain on top, 2 to the 4th power is 16, and z to the 4th will just remain z to the 4th. So negative exponents you can flip to the denominator to make them positive. All right, simplifying an expression with products. You need to be very patient with these because just do part by part and remember all of your properties. All right, so I'm just going to rewrite this as a long multiplication problem. First, looking at this half, n to the 5th raised to the 2nd. Well, that's a power to a power, so I multiply. I'm going to have n to the 10th multiplied by, I need to get rid of what I just circled here. Can't see. All right, 4m n to the negative 2 raised to the 3rd power. Well, I'm going to apply this exponent 3 to all parts in these parentheses. So I have 4 to the 3rd times m to the 3rd times n to the negative 2nd power to the 3rd. All right, so looks like I can't do anything with that one. 4 to the 3rd I can solve or simplify. That's 64. M to the 3rd. And then this one, n, when we have a power to a power, we can multiply these exponents. So this is going to be n to the negative 6th. All right, then I want to combine like terms. Well, I have two factors with a base of n, so I'm going to add their exponents. 10 plus negative 6 is n to the 4th. 64 I'm going to put in front, and m to the 3rd. Here is our final simplified answer. All right. I'm going to go on. You can use the property of raising a product to a power to solve problems involving scientific notation. So let's do one of those together. This one's talking about kinetic energy, so our answer is going to be in joules. They gave us this formula, half times m times v squared. That is the formula for kinetic energy in joules. So we're going to find out, we're going to substitute what we can. So 1/2 stays. Our m value, it tells us m kilograms is mass, which is 1.3 times 10 to the 3rd. 1.3 times 10 to the 3rd. And our v squared, 3.1 times 10 to the 3rd squared. All right, so I'm going to rewrite all my factors. 1/2 times 1.3 times 10 to the 3rd. 3.1 to the 2nd power. I'm going to find out what that is right now. 3.1 in my calculator raised to the 2nd power is 9.61. And 10 to the 3rd to the 2nd power. Multiply the exponents. 10 to the 6th. Now I can combine. I'm going to multiply 1/2 times 1.3 times 9.61. 1/2 times 1.3, 9.61. I get 6 point, what am I going to round it to? I'll keep all the digits. 6.2465 times 10. We have to the 3rd and to the 6th. Well, I can add those exponents. 10 to the 9th joules is my final answer. So it works the same with scientific notation. Just go part by part. All right, here's your lesson check, 1 through 6. Write these problems down and work them through. Bring them to class.